People, I mean, hell, at least we're live. But hey, what's up, people? We are back tonight. We had some technical difficulties, as you probably can see, but we are here with another recruiting intel pod, and obviously, you guys have probably seen some of the good news. So, looks again like, hey, this team is going to be healthy. That's what we're going to pray for the rest of this fall camp to get there. But as you already know, Monday nights, Chris Mason, Kchris Griffin, Horns Down Podcast, Sooners 360. When we come together on Monday nights, this is the Recruit Intel. Chris Mason, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Hey. Well, Chris Mason, let's go ahead and let's start talking about these kids. I'm really interested in this one because obviously I know we got a plus one that we got to get to, but definitely Cali Sooners. That has always been something that has worked out really well for OU. If you go back to the Joe Mixon days and even before that, Tony Jefferson and guys like that. So Kenny Stills, right?
Well, let's talk. Let's talk even old school. Jamel, Steve Sewell. Players like that.
Yeah.
Lots of guys back in the day. So, all right. Well, do you want to start with some Cali guys, or you want to do the one Oklahoma guy first?
Let's do the Oklahoma guy first. It's only right.
All right. So this is all right. So to lead this up a little bit, so OU has been tracking this guy called Kenyon Sweat, who plays at Cache, Oklahoma, which I am reliably informed by Apple Maps is somewhere west of Lawton.
Yeah.
Okay, my Oklahoma geography not being what it used to be. And he has scheduled a visit to OU on September 19th for the New Mexico game. And over the weekend, OU officially offered him. So this is Kenyon Sweat, wide receiver, 6', 6'1", 175, and is reporting a laser 4.35 at Iowa State's camp this summer.
All right, let's get to it.
So he's going to be primarily in the slot. They're going to put him in motion for a jet sweep here, and he's going to break a tackle here and reverse field and go the distance.
Like that. It's a nice field too. Yeah, I like that play. That's special.
So he's in the backfield, and they're gonna give him a handoff out of the backfield, and he's gonna dart all the way through the middle of the field, outrunning the cameraman, the camera view, and all the way into the end zone for like a 70-yard touchdown run.
Interesting.
Yep. Now he's in the slot on the left-hand side. They're gonna throw. I think this is a. They're gonna throw kind of like a tunnel screen a little bit. He's gonna break a couple of tackles, and then he's gone.
That's a Chris Mason. That was a deep jailbreak. That looked like it was supposed to be a jailbreak screen. Jeez.
Well, I mean, it's not. I don't know what else to call that, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, this is like a wide receiver screen from the slot. He hits the gap that his wide receivers create, and he is gone.
Yeah.
So the speed seems legit. I mean, this may not be the world's best competition. I don't know what level Cache is, but he is certainly making plays, and he makes that guy look silly just there. You might want to rewind that.
Yeah. That was a nice one.
That's a silly little play right there. So he does a nice job being there for his quarterback, makes a nice open field play, and then this poor defender,
Wow.
he just makes that kid look bad on video on the internet. So he's again in the slot. I think he's a slot guy. And they're just hit another wide receiver screen. He breaks tackles, and then he's got too much speed for this level of Oklahoma football.
It's
Boomer,
four, it's
Boomer
four
120.
A. It's 4A, which is still pretty good football here in Oklahoma. It's definitely not the 5 and 6A, but it's 4A. But just with him being so far out there, where the hell is he? Who is he playing against? Probably those Lawton schools are what you're looking at the most. But
Yep. He's
when you
playing
go,
deep,
oh,
plays
go ahead.
DB there, just broke
Yeah.
up a pass, but I'm pretty sure with the highlights OU's looking at him as a slot receiver.
I mean, Chris Mason, going back and watch some of these old games, just the Lawton guys that they have had in the past, they haven't really missed on them, right?
No, I mean so it's 129 saying they're 3A.
Yeah.
Regardless, whatever level of competition he's playing, he's too fast for these guys.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that was probably a hold. I mean, he's just his yards after catch and this his speed and acceleration look elite. So
Yeah, the yak yardage is nice.
he has a Tennessee offer, and we know Tennessee's not offering slow wide receivers.
No.
So, and they're only a nice screen pass across the middle of the field there. He's going to take that in for the end zone. So OU's offered him, Chris, and there's already been a prediction made by Josh McCuistion at Sooner Scoop that he's going to commit to OU. His interviews are screaming that I don't think he walks out of Norman after the game. The game against New Mexico without verbally to OU.
He's got a quick first step, Chris Mason. I really like that.
He does.
Well, he's got a quick first step and then a quick burst is what I meant to say. After he catches the ball, that burst is undeniable.
Yeah, he accelerate. He's got good long speed, but it does not take him fast to get some of that burst going.
Yeah.
And like you said, he's got a really quick first bolt there. So yeah, Chris, I think this would give OU three wide receiver predictions so far. The Dedrick Kimbrough guy, who just got a bunch more just got forecasted by Wilt Fong to OU, and then you've got Carson Lacombe, and then you have this kid as a speed guy in the class. I'm not sure that's not a really good. I mean, I think if this kid puts up this sort of film as a junior, now that teams are looking at him, this looks like 4-star top 300 kind of film to me, just based upon his speed and his playmaking.
What is his intangibles?
He's 6'1", maybe 175, 180. Yeah. So if he's running a 4.35, that's he'll get faster at OU, and they'll put on some appropriate weight to him. I mean, he's got a lean frame. Parker Thune and Josh were talking about him. They were making a little bit of an Elijah Thomas kind of comp, based upon because Elijah Thomas was at Chakotah, right? Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So just a smaller OU, smaller Oklahoma school, smaller competition, but just dominating it. And we know what Elijah Thomas did his senior year. He was just unstoppable. He was he was just way better than anybody he was playing against. So
I was just gonna say, one of the things I was telling you the other night when we were talking to an interview. If you haven't checked it out yet, go check out that interview that Chris Mason had with Graydon Howell. But that was one of the things I was trying to kind of stress out there as well, is that, hey, once every 30 years, once every 20 years, 15 years, however many years it takes, you will get the Graydon Howells and this Sweat kid, right? And, they can go to Booker T, go to Jinx, all the rest of those places, and get those kids all the time. But when you do get that one kid out of there that once every 20 years, most likely you're going to hit, so long as they come and they fully acclimate themselves to the town they're moving to, and obviously just the college lifestyle and the college grind. You usually get a pretty good athlete, so it doesn't really matter the class as long as the kid can actually produce. But I feel like if Nagy and crew want this kid, then yeah. I mean,
they were watching the film. He didn't come to OU summer camp. He would have had I think he'd have an offer. He'd have gotten an offer at OU summer camp if he had come. So, so he's got some good offers, but Tennessee being the best one. And like I said, Tennessee's not screwing around on slow kids from the state from Nowheresville, Oklahoma. Josh Heupel and Tennessee's recruits nationally at wide receiver. They're not offering this kid unless he's got something. So, so that's the new Oklahoma 2028 offer, in-state offer, and. Again, he's already been forecast to OU. I've read 4 or 5 interviews with him. I think the odds of him possibly choosing OU if he makes the New Mexico game, I don't see him sitting on that OU offer very long. Just like Graydon Howe didn't, Elijah Thomas didn't. Those guys. They recognize that value they recognize that value. In the OU offer, so that's what it looks like to me. So that's where I think we are. So if you're ready to move from the state of Oklahoma to some left coast action,
let's do it.
All right. So this is one of the offensive linemen that is in play for the Sooners. His name is Vincent Shields. He is 6'6", 275. Most folks think OU is in the lead for him. He visited for a couple of days during summer camp. He already had an OU offer. He didn't work out at camp, but he came to visit OU and get a feel for the campus and get a feel for the culture and meet players and get the whole, the whole dog and pony show. So he's going to come back for a game this fall. That's what it looks like. Looks like it's going to happen. So. Here we go. He's at right tackle, and he's got a little bit of a mean streak to him back there. Again, he's playing primarily right tackle. He's a good job in pass pro, does a good job in the run. Top 300 kid in America, lower 200s, and I think he's a good fit for what OU likes to do.
I'm not gonna lie, Chris Mason. The one thing that threw me off when I was finding a picture of the kid, and when I started looking at it, I was like, "This kid has a sleeve and a tattoo on his hand." I said, "We already know what he's doing for the rest of his life. It involves football."
Yeah, he's and does a good job. He's just does his angle, his angles, his blocking. He shoves people around, and he just does a good job at right tackle, and you're not getting to his quarterback.
One of the things that stood out about me was just the simple fact that his frame.
Yeah,
He's a guy that if he buys into the weight room, wherever he lands at, if he buys into the weight room, Chris Mason, he could be a dude. Because he has that frame to put on a lot of mass, but a lot of muscle with it.
Yeah, he's got 30 pounds of easy weight to put on.
Yep.
And he could be 6'6", 315, 320, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's how big he is. He's very mobile. Gotta love this. Somehow the play didn't go right, but he's still pulling and beating somebody up.
Yeah.
And he's not letting this guy go. I mean, he is, he's physical. He's good. He's a good right tackle. Could he play right guard or left guard? Probably. You could move him inside guard if you needed to. But I think he's a good right tackle. Mm-hmm. I think that's where that's probably that makes sense. I wouldn't put him at left, but that makes sense. I think for his for OU, and like I said, he really likes the Sooners. Probably has OU in front, and this would not be a bad addition to OU's pipeline from California if he was to choose OU.
Chris Mason, I think that just watching his film right now, his film is really good, but you give him a year just to sit there and learn from Beatonbow. I think Beatonbow has another first rounder at tackle again. I mean,
yeah, and again, and I think he has some positional versatility. If you needed to play him at guard to get some seasoning, once he's 6'6", 315, 320, he's certainly got the mobility to play inside. Got the physicality to do it. So there's definitely maybe that's where he apprentices for a year. Bill gets him some work inside, and then once the right tackle position opens up, you move him there. So I think it's good film. The guy I'm going to show you next is the guy I think could be the left tackle in the class if OU is not able to get the Cannon Zubek kid who we showed you guys like 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So he's also from California. He's a very different player than Shields.
And this is what junior film, right?
Sophomore film.
Sophomore film. I was about to say, yeah. I think this year for the junior year, Chris Mason, because again, I'm trying to look at it through your lens. I'd like to see a little bit more violence, but again, I mean, he's doing a really good job. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I think there's still a little bit of room for improvement. But he's just a sophomore, so you can't even be mad at that. But again, he has those intangibles. I mean, the kid was tall. Again, has that room to grow. That's what I really like about a kid like that. Because it's like, hey, what, 6'6", right?
6'6", 270, 275, maybe 280. It's hard to tell.
And
with some of these sophomore numbers, it's kind of hard to tell.
You can't teach the activeness that he has right now, but a lot of the other stuff I think he can refine. I think he'll be really good at it. And again, when I saw that tattoo, I said, "Oh yeah, it's all or nothing." So I like that.
All right, this kid his name is Aden Owolabi. He's from California. He's obviously he's relatively new to football. He looks like a power forward playing tackle. So when you're thinking about when you just saw the guy we just saw, this kid's going to be is going to be raw. But when you look at his frame on this sophomore film, you're going to see something. I need you to think upside, think ceiling when you watch this a little bit. I think Shields is closer to a product that could get on the field, but he's 6'6", 265, 270 now. He's not 245. So you look at him. So he's on. That's his frame. This kid just moved into the top 50 in the country according to 247. He's the right tackle there. Just look at his frame, just how athletic he is.
Keep it moving. Love the feet. It keeps moving. Love that. It's probably a fight at the college level. Somebody's trying to swing. Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff.
But just look at that. That's a left tackle frame right there. Look at how quick he moves and his frame, and when you could. I mean, he's going to be. Once he gets into a weight room, look at that. I mean, he's like a power forward. Looks like a power forward.
I mean, Chris Mason, he's gonna be an offensive lineman with a 6-pack. Like, what are we talking about?
I'm telling you, he's going to be. Once he's in a weight room, that kid's going to be 6'6". I mean, just look how quick he got to that guy right there.
Yeah.
And I mean, he got to that guy 4 yards off the line of scrimmage in like no time. I think he can play left tackle. I think he could be the left tackle in the class if you don't get somebody else.
That's what I was going to ask you. I was like, do you, because obviously you just said it, he's kind of still a tad bit raw. Like, do you try him on the inside, or do you stick to him you keep him at tackle?
You keep him at tackle, and then you figure out if he can play left tackle, because I mean his agility and his wingspan, it's what you need to handle those pass rushers in the SEC, right? I mean, look how he just completely stones that guy. I mean,
that was great technique.
I mean, he's just so quick out of his stance in pass pro. I mean, he's just. I mean, you're not going anywhere against him.
You know what it looks like when you watch his film? It looks like, hey, imagine him once he gets to college and he feels super confident and he's not just really thinking it out, trying to be technical, and he just lets it fly. Oh my gosh, he's gonna be a monster. I think he's gonna get to that probably this junior year and senior year. But this is
so just imagine that he's 6'6", 280 by the time he leaves high school, probably.
Yeah.
And you just imagine. I mean, you can't coach that wingspan, that agility, and that size of athlete. I mean, look at him. I mean, he's just dogging these guys. I mean, small guys. He's just eating that small guy for lunch. And sometimes small guys, small pass rushers, get tackles in high school, right? A 210-pound guy against a 270 guy. That, that works. But this kid has his speed, his feet, and that wingspan. I mean, it's just you're not getting around him. And he does a good job moving people, considering how, as you said, he's got like a 6-pack. He's not anywhere near the ceiling of body he might be. I mean, I remember Josh sometimes talks about he saw Ryan Fogier like his sophomore year, and he was like 6'5", 250, right?
Yeah.
And then and then he went back and saw him his junior year, and he's like, who's the 6'5", 280-pound beast out there? Well, that's Ryan Fogier. What are you talking about?
And that's the interesting part. I think with this kid and the Shields kid that we were just talking about, Chris Mason, the interesting thing is that I don't think that they're going to add bad weight at all.
Nah. They've got the ideal frames you want. They've got the look. So that's another guy who Drew Simia went to his high school, That's not much of a pipeline. That's about 10 years ago, but obviously he's heard about that. He knows Biedenbaugh. That's being reinforced to him. He should come out to campus this year for a visit. Oregon is obviously a player here because Oregon sees what OU sees, right? You're seeing what you see today, but in 18 months that could be completely different from that perspective. So he's an interesting guy to watch. And like I said, he was sort of like a 3-star when OU offered him. And I'm like, well, that's not 3-star developmental material. And then 247 moved him up to the number 50 player in the nation. Like, okay, this guy's a top 100. I mean, they saw him in person, and he's put on weight since then, and they're just like, look at this guy's athleticism and look at his frame. You can't coach some of this stuff.
No, you can't.
So, all right, I mentioned last week, I think, Jordan Hicks, a cornerback. He's confirmed a visit to OU. I mentioned OU and Oregon were kind of fighting for him. And I'm going to be a little quiet and let you absorb this film. Because I'm a little biased here. So I want to know what you think. So.
Oh. That's how we started? First clip like that?
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
That's 2. Quarterback has no business making this throw. That's 3.
He's a different type of safety, I'll say that.
It's a corner. I think he's a corner.
He's a corner. Excuse me, corner. Hell,
That's 4. Just strip the ball there. That's 5 turnovers to start his reel. This is 6.
I already have a question for you, Chris Mason.
Yeah.
Is just watching his film, and we've watched some really good corners. We obviously we got one. We got a dude that's coming next year. But is he the most technically sound that you've seen on film thus far that OU has recruited?
He's the best 2028 looking corner. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you watch this film, you watch the plays, the anticipation, what he's doing. I mean, again, how many picks is this, Chris? That's like 7.
Yeah. Jimmy,
looks back, past. He's 6'1", 180 pounds. Again, OU battling Oregon again because they badly want him. Everybody wants this guy. He's got like 7 visits coming up. OU is pushing hard. So we need to hope Oregon gets some other. I mean, he's sticky. He's instinctive. He's got good ball skills.
Here's the second question for you, Chris Mason. Is he an island guy?
He might be, but I don't know that he might be an island guy, but he's the best looking cornerback I've seen OU have a realistic shot at in this class. I could give you the other 2028 films for us to look at sometime later, and you guys could debate that point with me. But I think he's the best looking corner. Some people think he's a safety. He's a corner in OU system.
Yeah, I mean, I could see either way, but I mean, in this defense, hell, he gonna rotate between both of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you could be. You could, but I mean, he's just strips the ball. That was the peanut punch, I think, right there.
Yeah.
And he's just sticky, and he's physical. He's willing to come up, and he's so instinctive getting the ball. So, yeah. So could he tackle a little bit better? Yeah, but I see a lot of high school cornerback film, and this isn't the worst tackling I've seen.
Oh no, I mean, wait till he gets that frame and gets stronger. But I'll be honest with you, they're not necessarily throwing it to his side like that, and when they are, it's pick city. Good.
Yeah.
Hey, good right there. Good shoestring right there.
Yeah. Does a good job getting off blocks, making tackles. So I think that the cornerback position is the weakest offer, interest, target group that's kind of out there.
Interesting.
In 28 class.
So here, watch. Come back, boom. Like you can't that right there. That's just different because that's not just instincts, but that's also just good close speed.
And he baits the quarterback badly too.
You know who he would have been hell to play against. I'm gonna foreshadow just a little bit, guys. I went back and watched that Utah versus Texas Tech game just to get a feel for this Michigan coordinator. The routes that he loves to run in his offense, this dude would eat that shit up all day. Jeez, yeah, no, I like this. I like this kid's film, Chris Mason. I like this kid's film a lot.
Yep, I think it's the best cornerback film that's out there. So but the main issue is that there's not another cornerback really in play right now that I think is as good as this guy. The other guys that the other OU's just not making any impact with the other cornerbacks in the class right now. I don't know if it's a Lamar Morgan, handoff 1 year transition kind of problem, or if it's the four guys they're signing this year. Things aren't syncing up at cornerback recruiting as well as they are all over the board elsewhere in 2028. I mean, I've been showing you running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, offensive linemen, defensive linemen. We got the QB we want. It's not syncing up at cornerback like the other positions. So OU's got some homework to do, I think, this fall.
All right.
All right, let me go show you the other slot guy who's decided he's going to visit OU. And so think about him, think about Sweat, and then think about this, because they might be fighting for the same scholarship spot. This is Darren DJ Tubs from St. John Bosco. So when you talk about competition, this kid's playing the best in the country. He's at St. John Bosco. They have an elite schedule. He's playing the best guys. And this kid's got some speed. That first play, just down the middle of the field, outruns everybody, and went in the end zone. Took it 75 yards into the end zone. So we need to apparently recruit a Crockett to go with Tubbs to have the ultimate, might have the Miami, the Sooner Vice wide receiver core.
Watch this move. Boom, boom, boom.
Yep,
Good move, boy.
And then he's in the end zone.
Yep.
And again, he's playing elite competition. This is Bosco. A lot of coverage, finds him, touchdown.
It's a good pass, too.
It was. But this kid, he can play outside a little bit. Nice job, makes a nice play, and he's gone. So his film looks. And he's a 3-star. I was trying to figure out why. Maybe it's because he's 5'11", 175, but he's got a laser 4.4 time, so he's not slow. He doesn't look slow in any of these highlights against good California competition.
Not at all.
He wants to visit OU. So the question will be if Sweat verbals early, like I think he could. Do you have a spot for this kid?
Yep. Who's all fighting for this kid? SC and
Miami.
Oregon?
Miami.
Okay. SC and Miami.
And Miami's heavily after him as well. Yeah. And also Cal and UCLA, as we saw with their little burst over spring, are still going after kids. I mean, that's a nice catch. Look at that. And he's gonna get a lot of rack yards out of that he shouldn't really get.
He looks like if I'm just being frank, he does look like a Makai Lemon, USC, Lincoln Riley, Simmons type guy. But damn.
Yeah. He could, and that's where he could end up. But he's very interested in OU. OU's, obviously if you get a verbal commitment from Sweat and you decide that's the speed guy for the class, okay, yeah. I got no problem with that. But if you wanted 2 speed guys, I'm not sure this guy wouldn't be somewhere in there. The St. Louis guy I keep talking about, Kingston McPike, should be starting his season soon. Yeah. So hopefully he gets to Norman and his film gives us another point of comparison.
I think right now, when you look at Sweat is just Sweat is kind of like Graydon Howell, just Mister Do It All, right? And I
Yeah,
think that if you gave him a chance to just really focus on that one position, wide receiver, I think he will be really good. He could turn out to be elite. This kid here, I think the most impressive thing about his film, Chris Mason, he's a zone buster as well. Not just some of the dynamic stuff that he's doing, the cuts and all the rest of that, but whenever these defenses run a zone, watch, boom, he's sticking to a spot, getting to where he needs to get to, and then he's scoring off of that. So I think he's
he's
finding those
making it.
holes in that zone.
Yeah, so he's playing slot. He's playing outside.
Hmm.
They'll throw to him deep. They're going to throw this sort of running screen to him right here. And he makes yards after contact, and he's got legit speed. So, this would be. He's again in the slot here. They're going to just basically throw like a wide receiver screen to him, and he's getting yards. He's getting upfield, and he's physical for a little guy. So, yeah, I think this is, there's maybe, there's, I don't think he's got the pure, the over the top speed, but there's a little Hollywood Brown of this, a little bit used
There's a little
everywhere.
bit of what?
Little Hollywood in him.
I can see it. I can see it.
Yeah, but that's just the way they use him all over the field, and and as you said, he's a zone buster, and he's hard to bring down. So, you
You
know,
know what? I would say this right here. Hollywood, Makai Lemon could be like the ceiling. I think that the floor could be like a Mario Williams.
sure, yeah,
Yeah.
that'll work. All right, this is our last California guy. Have we done everyone? Yeah, we have. This is a safety, Brandon Nash. OU's fighting Ohio State for him. Now he's got some connections. Yeah, your buddy Ryman Lemon's back tonight, so he's got some Oklahoma connections. Ohio State's heavily after him, and he's a safety. So I think he's somewhere in the safety mix, along with Kenyon, Compton Nero, and the kid from Indiana I showed you. I think it was last week, Drake Colner. So obviously he's going to force a fumble here. Come up, bam. Run support safety. That's run support safety 101, pretty much there.
Yeah.
Playing a deeper safety here.
Oh,
Basically deflects the slant. Does a nice job on that slant. And he's a big kid. He's like 6'2", 200 pounds. So he's as a sophomore, right? So we have to remember that's a nice tackle for loss on a running play there. So there's some cheetah maybe a little bit with his size, perhaps.
I can see
Um,
that.
but he does a nice job picking that pass off. They shouldn't have thrown it, but he does a nice job, some of the, pull. I think he caught it on like the one, so he had to kind of run it out. Um, you know, so he says there's some in the box safety here. He's doing a good job. So
Good.
yeah,
Good.
I mean they could put two guys on him. So
Yeah,
you know,
big boys too.
yep, he's nice blitz, sack blitz here. Gets the quarterback. Nice delayed blitz there. Again, he's playing good competition. This is a kid who plays good Cali competition. So, and he's going to get there. He's going to stop that guy from getting in the end zone. You never know when that's going to count. So, plays at St. John Bosco as well. So he's playing.
Good comp.
Yep. So good comp. Nice run recognition and tackle here. Does a good job as your last line of safety, last line of defense. He's gonna track this play down all the way to the sideline. He's pretty physical. So there's a lot of safety tools here that translate to the way OU plays.
Definitely.
So, so he's in the safety mix. If OU wants three safeties in this class, I could see him easily being one of those safeties. Busted play here, but look at his speed. Look at the hustle. Stops the touchdown and causes the fumble. They don't pick up at the fumble, but he causes it. So, does he have enough long speed to be our real deep safety? I don't know, but a nice pass deflection in the end zone there. So, I could see maybe some cheetah here as well. So, he does a good job. He plays good competition. We'll see what his junior film looks like. But he's a top 200 kind of safety. Again, he's got some connections to the Oklahoma City area, some family in the Oklahoma City area. So I don't know that this is something that, but Ohio State is in the lead, you know.
I can see it.
But I imagine he will visit Norman at least one more time before he decides. And if Ohio State, maybe Ohio State screws this up or they get somebody else or they lose attention with him, but that's where it is right now. So OU, to a couple of the Cali guys, Oregon, and when you're fighting Oregon and Ohio State for kids, especially on defense, I'm not sure that I have much complaints about that.
Not at all. I think his film is solid. I definitely think it's solid.
Yeah. So, again, he's doing a good job with open field tackling. Um, you know, does a nice job. He's got a nice job here, stopping that guy from getting a first down. I don't know that's a third down, but that's still what you want, right? You gotta have as safeties in the SEC with the way the teams Oklahoma has to play. His safeties are gonna have to make one-on-one open field tackles to keep teams from putting together long drives.
Kind of see a little RSJ in him, right?
Yeah, I mean that's same frame, similar frame. So yeah, I'm not sure he's as fast as RSJ.
No, I know he's not as fast as RSJ, but I think just the
But I don't think
characteristics are there.
I don't think we thought RSJ was as fast as RSJ was. Yep. So from that perspective, but he's got good film. So it's there's a lot to like here, and you can imagine under Brandon Hall in our scheme that this will work. This will work, right? This guy's got all the physical skills that you'd want, and comes out of a good program and can be. I didn't get the special team stuff.
I was waiting on it.
Didn't get the special team stuff. So that's basically that's 5 guys from California, and I left as a couple of more I could have added. Kind of left it with those 5. That's 5 guys you could realistically see as part of this recruiting class, Chris, and the 2 offensive linemen. I think, if anything's happened over the weekend, I think it reinforces we want another 6 high school offensive linemen in this coming recruiting class, Chris. You can't. I don't think you can have enough high school offensive linemen in your program developing. Right. That's what this weekend proved to us. And I wish we'd had signed 6 kids in 2026. I wish we had 4 more guys like Schmidt and Best on our roster developing right now. So if you went with 6 offensive linemen, I could see Shields and Owolabi being 2 guys you'd add and be like, yep, that'll work. And then Gavin Wilson, who we've already looked at, is been predicted to OU by numerous people. If you could get those 3 kids, and then see if you could get Joey Fleming and Cannon Zubek, that would be if that's the 5 guys you ended up with, I'd be like, yeah, I'll take that every day. Mm-hmm. So if you guys are wondering, I did an offensive line depth chart show today. You're looking at 27 and looking at 28, and if you could sign a class in 28 of 5 or 6 people added to what we're hopefully bringing in this December, with the 5-year rule and extending stuff out, you quickly start getting to a room with 20 guys developing, Chris, which is what you want on the offensive line to kind of handle these kind of injuries that just seem to be occurring in Norman. Although the injury curse seems to be following guys to the NFL, to South Carolina, it's just kind of crazy. But I think those 5 guys, if you could add those 5 guys, a safety, corner, another speed wide receiver, and 2 offensive linemen, I don't see if that was your Cali group, the 5 guys I just showed you tonight. I don't know that you would have much of a problem with that. I think those are 5 5-star, 5 4-star guys, top 300, top 200 type guys. I think the Owolabi kid could be a top 50, something like that. I think Shields could easily be top 200, and I think the cornerback Hicks. I think that kid could be top 100 easy, with that skill set at cornerback. But that's kind of where we are.
Only thing I'm thinking in my mind, right? Only thing that's on my mind right now that I'm thinking about is just Please, Beaton Mo. Please, Nagy, get more offensive linemen. I do not want to hear Chris Mason upset about this, because Chris Mason will tell you, hey man, what are we doing? What are we doing in the trenches, man? What are we doing?
Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
No, no.
I mean, if we had four guys like Noah Best, would you not feel better going into this season versus just one of them?
Yeah, yeah.
If you had four guys that you were like Noah Best, I mean, I'd feel a whole lot happier about our O-line development and depth than I do right now. So I mean, they're doing what they can, and obviously some players getting hurt. That's just football. But if you had signed four guys like that instead of just two, you had two more guys like that in this class. That would have been nice.
Well, all right. Well, Chris Mason's got a hard stop, so people, we're gonna have to get up out of here tonight. I don't know where Ben G is at. I was waiting on Ben G. I had something ready for him. I don't know. I don't know what.
The black backgrounds in honor of him for the massive receiving stats Matt Masunas is going to get this year. So that was our preseason acknowledgement for him.
Just Mascalinus, man, has something for him. I don't know where Ben G is at, but Chris, we won't play it, but Chris Mason, we will reconvene Thursday night. Should have Sean Onikuno. He should be on that episode with us. We'll definitely talk about the scrimmage that's I guess supposedly happening Wednesday night as well. Talk about some other stuff. Really excited because hey, this is really the last weekend without college football. Next weekend we get TCU UNC.
Are we calling that football?
Yeah. Chris Mason, we're gonna do all that we can. I'm tired of NFL preseason, but until then, we shall see you on the flip side, people. We're out.